you go.
What's up, YouTube? Three Pedal J back in the garage again. There may be some videos out there on YouTube, but for the tens of followers that I have, I want to show you guys how to identify if you have MDS lifters or non-MDF lifters, the difference between the two. So over here, I have my box of 1,000,000 lifters, and you guys can see the majority of the lifters that I have are going to be non-MDS because, as you guys know or may not know, any manual transmission Hemi always has a non-MDF lifter and cams. So you don't ever want to have cylinder displacement when you're shifting gears, and for whatever reason, you just don't want to have that. You always want to kind of have the power there. You don't want to have to come out of that cylinder deactivation. You always want the cylinders activated. And I personally prefer that because you always have the power. You always have the power. You never have to worry about the half a second or a fraction of a second that it takes for the power to come in. So I have here 2 non-MDS lifters. And what you'll notice with the non-MDS lifters, and MDS stands for multiple displacement system, and that just shuts down 4 of the cylinders, so you get the front 2 cylinders shut down and the back 2. So you'll see that there's a big hole right here on both sides of the lifter, and that allows the oil to go in, and there's a spring, it's spring loaded and all that stuff, to kind of like still roll, still get oil, but just the lifter just deactivates when the computer tells it not to. So the non-MDS lifters, I have several of them in this box as I showed you. You notice that that's smooth. There is no hole. They look similar, but they're not. And then here I have a non-MDS lifter tray, right? And it looks just like an MDS, or I'm sorry, this is a non-MDS lifter tray. And it looks exactly like a non-MDS tray. But the difference is it says MDS rear on here. I don't know if that's going to show up or not, but I'm going to try to make it show up. It says MDS rear on here. And then with the non-MDS trays, you're not going to have that. It doesn't have the MDS tray on there. So that's one way of identifying it. But let's just say that you end up with a vehicle that had that wore down for whatever reason, a high mileage vehicle. Somebody wore it down. I don't know. You can identify it by looking at the looking for the hole in the lifter again. So that's my little rant about building these Hemis. So what I have over here is I have the fire block that I did a video on that you guys should be familiar with. And I just put my manual 6.4 cam in it. The cam is right in the front. So obviously I'm going to put the non-MDS lifters in it. And then I have over here the 13 block that's going to go into Frankenstein. So the rotating assembly is out at Clinton right now, getting balanced. When that comes back, then we'll slide the cam in and we'll get the lifters. But what I'm going to do right now, in the meantime, I have the stock MDS cam because this was an automatic 6.4 application. I'm pulling the lifter trays, so all the MDS lifters will come out, and I'm going to replace it with non-MDS lifters. And I have enough of these things that I can do both the Fire 6.4 and the 13 6.4. So I'm going to take care of both of those now, and then that way I'm that much closer. I still got to order pistons, I got rods for the Fire 6.4. I have the crank there on the floor. I've got to get main bearings for both of them and rod bearings for both of them. So actually, no, I have rod bearings for the 13, but I got to get rod bearings I'm just going to do all factory bearings for the Fire 6.4 because that's going to probably go into my truck. I'm setting that up to go into my truck, but it's going to, we're going to do an MDS delete on it because I don't like MDS. So that's why the holes here are empty. If you look here, hopefully that's showing. The hole here, I'll point to this one because that's definitely showing. The hole is missing. the hole is missing. So I'll order the covers for that. And then I'll go to Dodge and I'll get the correct bolts that go in there because I don't have the correct bolts for whatever reason. Oh, I know why, because I used it on a different build a motor that I built and sold. Anyway, just wanted to drop a quick little tidbit. I am still working. I'm actually building 2 6.4s right now, which is crazy for me. Got a little bit of time, so wow, this is all shaky. Got a little bit of time, so I wanted to drop an educational moment and let you share what I learned. I mean, I knew that there was a difference between the MDS and the non-MDS, but I needed to see it up close and personal. So it's kind of cool to see what Dodge does, and I'm glad they kind of make it easy for us to identify with the actual label that says MDS. That's kind of cool. This 6.4 that's I'm building for Frankenstein, this is the first non-MDS block that I've ever owned and ever operated on. I never buy MDS blocks because I have manual, so it's just not something that comes into my path. But I got this block for a very fair price. I got the complete engine for steel. So always look out for deals, guys, and then don't be afraid to do a little work, do a little research, and make the best out of the opportunities you got. See you in the next one. Peace.